Namaskaram, welcome. COVID-19 is spreading all over the world. The only way to prevent is to break the chain of spread by strictly adhering to rules of quarantine and reverse quarantine, as there is no vaccine or specific medicine against the COVID-19 virus. Just remember the basic principle of public community health. Prevention is always better than treatment. Today we will start session on quarantine and reverse quarantine. Before starting, this episode is a tribute to the mothers and fathers who have lost their lives due to COVID-19 all over the world. This should not happen. We need to prevent this. These are all preventable. So please hear the beautiful music very carefully and offer our prayers to them. Similarly, we have lost children also due to COVID-19 all over the world. This should not happen. We need to prevent this. The following music is a tribute to them. Please pray for them. What is quarantine and reverse quarantine? When a person has contagious illness, keeping him away from other healthy people is the method used in public community health. This is called quarantine or isolation. The duration of quarantine is double of the maximum incubation period of the illness. The incubation period of COVID-19 is 2 to 14 days. So the duration of quarantine should be 28 days. The objective of quarantine is to physically prevent the person from infecting the other people around him in the community, until he is no longer a threat. What is reverse quarantine? Reverse quarantine is exactly the opposite. When a person is vulnerable and there is imminent danger for him to get the infection from other infected people, he is kept away until the danger passes. What is the importance of reverse quarantine? Although highly contagious, the COVID-19 virus affects people differently. Healthy children and healthy young adults are less likely to become sick or die from the infection. What is the principle of reverse quarantine? Older people, particularly those with long-standing illnesses, have higher chance of getting infected or dying from the infection. Limiting their exposure to the virus is the principle of reverse quarantine. In the absence of specific treatment or vaccine, the fight against this pandemic basically concentrates on administrative and public health strategies according to established principles of public community health. We are already familiar with measures such as lockdown, social distancing, screening people, tracking and isolation of contacts. So what is the solution to protect the vulnerable groups in the community? As the pandemic spreads, reverse quarantine is one of the solutions to keep the vulnerable groups of people very safely. Apart from the aged over 65 years, this includes people who have other diseases, children below 10 years, pregnant and those with socio-economic disadvantages. In the absence of widespread testing, it is impossible to estimate the extent of spread of virus in the community, and also underreporting is a worldwide problem. Hence it is very important for taking every measures possible to protect the weak and vulnerable groups of people in the community. For today we will stop the session and will continue in the next session. Hope all of you enjoyed. Before that I will play stress relaxing instrumental music for peaceful mind and happiness. Good news of COVID-19 is about 60 to 70% cases are asymptomatic healthy carriers, which means they are infected by COVID-19 virus but it cannot establish the COVID-19 disease in them due to their good immunity power. So they will not have any symptoms of COVID-19. They are called healthy carriers. This indicates you need not be stressed, depressed, or afraid of the COVID-19 virus as cannot develop the disease in majority of people due to their good immunity power. But you should be cautious and vigilant towards the COVID-19 virus as there are many healthy carriers spreading the COVID-19 in the community. Equally bad news of COVID-19 is these healthy carriers are unaware of themselves being infected by COVID-19 virus, unless tested. They are the most dangerous to the community in spreading the infection. So here comes the importance and necessity of mandatorily wearing face mask wherever you go and maintain social distance of minimum 2 meters in the public. Also important to boost our natural immunity by healthy diet, regular exercise, yoga, meditation, and avoiding harmful and unhealthy lifestyles and habits. Stress, fear, depression all weaken our body immunity. So it is very important to relieve stress, fear and depression by listening to stress-relieving music which makes your mind calm, peaceful and happy. People need not be afraid of COVID-19 virus and get stressed and depressed as these conditions lower our body immunity. They should engage themselves in mental stress relieving activities like exercise, yoga, meditation and listening stress relieving musics. These activities will help to boost body immunity and help to make our mind peaceful and happy. Hope you all enjoyed this session on quarantine and reverse quarantine and gained basic knowledge and awareness on how to prevent contagious diseases spreading in the community. You all should share this knowledge all over the world and prevent the death from any diseases which are preventable. If you benefited from this session and relieved of your stress, please subscribe to the channel named Protect and give a good press on the bell button. Valor Nanni, thanks.